Live. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the episode of Grooming Gaming. This your girl, DELILAH HD. I'm here with the usual suspects. It's -1. CHAREECE couldn't make it here today. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it because we just a tad bit late. You know what I mean? I'm so sorry about that. A couple technical issues. Had to iron a couple things out. So let's go ahead and get started with intros. I just said who I am. So go ahead, LBOOGIE.
Yeah, why am I at the top? I'm not hosting.
I just switched it. I just switched it.
But you below her, so that means you go first.
Yeah, I got it now. All right. Cool. It's LBOOGIE 0208. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming and listening to us with our shenanigans again this week. We are so close to being able to be monetized with YouTube. Would it be partners, I guess is what they call it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just like 20 hours away, y'all. So if you can, make sure you guys turn on our podcast in the background while you're working or whatever you need to do. Let's get them hours in. So close. I mean, taste it, right?
Mm-hmm. Tastes like ribs.
Right? Tastes like
smells like ribs. It smells like ribs.
Short
smells
ribs,
like ribs.
But yeah, let's get into it. I'm not doing what I've been playing yet, right? Or you want me to do that?
You can go into what you've been playing.
Okay. What I've been playing? I've been playing a lot of Fortnite. My daughter's been playing with me, and we've been getting dubs with me and my kiddo. It's wild. Like, it's funny too because I have another little cousin that we play with occasionally, and my daughter is like, she don't know what to do.
Wow.
She's like, she needs some guidance.
Like
so
the call outs and all that stuff.
So I hop in and I'm kind of trying to guide the new younger one, trying to let her know, the courteousness, right, of playing. You know, like, don't be just grabbing loot when you didn't kill a person.
That's it. Yeah.
Things like that. But yeah, so we've been getting some W's. I need to put some of the videos out there. And then Dreamlight Valley, I got back into that because I can just, play that from the couch via the cloud. And I haven't been feeling well. I don't know if y'all can hear it in my voice. Hopefully I'll not be able to cough during our session today. But yeah, so I've been, on the couch playing that. And they got another new character. Like, they're really, like, on it. Like, they've been doing a lot of updates to that game. Mm-hmm. They did a Halloween event, a Christmas event. I'm assuming they're going to do a Valentine's event. And then, like I said, they got a new character, new storyline in there for you already. So, I mean, they're keeping you busy. Mm-hmm. But I'm enjoying it. That's all I've been playing this week. I'm ready to play some Harry Potter.
Ooh, this game's about to get ready to drop, huh? It's almost time.
We got Forspoken before that.
Oh,
2 weeks before Harry Potter, we're going to get Forspoken. Mm-hmm. But I've been kind of like, I don't know. Just because I feel like I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna play it, and then Harry Potter's gonna come out and I'm gonna be like, bye, bitch.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, I heard good and bad things about Forspoken, so.
Yeah, I know, right? And then I'm also trying to figure out if I got Harry Potter on the Xbox, but now I'm trying to decide if I want to do Harry Potter on the PS5 because they got extra content, and apparently it's supposed to be like dark magic stuff that you get. And then I'm also thinking, well, should I get it on the PC because they don't have like mods and stuff like that? Yeah. So I don't know. Now I'm like thinking. So you guys are gonna have to help me decide. Should I get Harry Potter on the PS5 or should I get Harry Potter on the PC? On the Mega
Beast? That's tough. I mean, because I know CHAREECE has been playing a lot of PC lately too.
Y'all both. I think Nights on the PC.
Yeah,
we both played on the
PC.
PC. Yeah, nice. It was good on the PC.
I don't know. And with Forspoken, you said whether you're gonna what game you see gonna get, whether on PC or not? Oh, the Harry Potter.
Well, it's Hogwarts actually.
Hogwarts. So it's now is that a full blown single player game?
Yes, it's
so
single
then
player.
You might
so really it don't matter, right?
It don't. It really
don't matter. But
it's like, do you want achievements or do you want just
right?
You know, that's
the thing too. It's like I did everything on the PC for Gotham Knights, and I didn't get no Xbox achievements. So. I was a little salty about that, but I don't know. Like, do I want the extras content from the PS5 or?
Right, that's gonna be a tough decision.
Well, y'all ain't helping.
I'm sorry. I you on your own. Cool. I'm biased. So
she said,
"Cool." Cool.
You biased, so you would get it on Xbox regardless.
That's just because I like playing on the couch. You know what I'm saying? That's my preferred way to play. All right, because I sit behind the computer all the time for work and all this. So I'd rather just when I want to relax, chill, and you know, put a couple hours into a game, it's gotta be on the big screen. You know what I'm saying? I didn't buy that big TV not to use it like that.
Now, see, I think on the PS5 I will be able to stream it.
Oh wow, okay.
To the TV, right? Aren't you able to do that?
Well, yeah, you can.
remotely?
You can. Well, I thought you could just do it to your phone and stuff like that. I know Xbox has that app that you can do cloud, but we don't even know if it's supported for that yet. So,
right.
And it's on PC, so I don't know how that works. The reversing, like if you're planning on PC, can you stream it to your TV? Like,
I know.
Like, how does that? I have to look into that. So me, and then since the game is PlayStation and PC, I probably get it on PC just because of that, right? Because Forspoken, I'm thinking Forspoken, but for Hogwarts Legacy, it's on everything. So maybe I'm definitely getting on Xbox. I'm not even gonna hold you.
All right. Well.
Yeah, because I'm gonna look it up. I'm probably gonna check and see which frame rate is better. Usually it's PC, and so maybe I don't know. Girl, I'm gonna be in the same boat. I haven't even decided. You know, I really think about it.
That I have to do something. I start looking at
like you done gave me your dilemma.
Yeah. All right, well, you solve it for both of us. Okay?
Well, when I do, I'll let you know. So I gotta do some research, though.
Yeah. But that's it for me. I'm ready.
Okay. All right, lady. What about you?
Hello everyone. This is me, Lady Infamous. You already know. Good morning, chat, everybody. I'm not gonna have a problem because when I get Hogwarts, I didn't even pre-order it yet, but most likely it's gonna be on the Xbox when I get it. That was quick. Every day this week, I was playing Vampire Survivors every day when I get off work. After I take a shower and eat and play like a couple of hours of it, you know, it is like I said it on Twitter that it's like an onion. I mean, I thought it was just maybe like, 10 characters and that basic, 5 levels. No, it's other shit. It's adding a passive with a weapon and you evolve it. It's got good magic and dark magic, and there's like 40 characters and you unlock the characters by doing random stuff. And, I'm really enjoying it. It's
I heard it's very addicting. Very addicting.
It is. Yeah. I don't know about I think maybe because I grew up with those type of graphics, those type of styles of gaming when I was younger. It was something like, okay. I honestly thought when shout out to CHAREECE because she said play it. I'm thinking like, maybe this might be my cup of tea, but I was totally wrong. Totally wrong. I'm over here watching guy videos and how to kill the Reaper and, speed runs and stuff. And that's when you got yourself a good game. When you try to invest your time on getting to know the game, who made the game, and the content creators who's putting passion on, this is the best build to beat this level type of shit. Just like Elden Ring. So this gonna have indie. They've been getting indies awards too within the past couple.
It's doing very.
I think they got a few for DICE. I think.
Yeah, that game is doing extremely well for it. I think it was made by one person. I think I talked about this a little bit last week, but it was made by one person with some he had 2 people that he would tap, I guess, for like help assistance on certain things. Yeah. But I mean, that one game is made. He's already in the millions. Like, it's how much money that game has made. So it's very inspiring for like indie developers. But go ahead. Yeah.
DLC already out. I already got it. I ain't even there yet. I'm not even there yet. Yeah. And they got their whole new set of characters. And then I'm not too sure, but I heard they're gonna continue to add on shit. I'm like, okay.
That's something you can really want from like modern day, like today, as far as games, that since everything's like digital and stuff like that they continue to evolve these games when like single player like that.
What I wasn't playing this week though was Call of Duty. I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out.
So you done got the guns and like you out. You're like, okay, I got my guns.
I got like maybe 16 gold guns and 1 platinum. Yeah. Been playing Shipment every damn day, and then when I play something else that's not Shipment, it seems slower to me. I downloaded Halo Infinite. I gotta see what Forge is.
Yeah, I wouldn't play that. Like Forge has been like, I've been seeing videos, man.
man. The videos that you see that the people that are
Waffle
creative,
House and the
I want to play Big
Stranger
House.
Things.
Yeah, I want to be able to. I want to see what Forge is about.
Yeah,
I'm not really too keen on a season pass. Yeah. Maybe I want to see if they didn't change the maps on regular multiplayer.
They got a couple of new maps, but then it's like they also got like Warthog racing and stuff like that. People are being creative with Forge, so it's
So I'm intrigued. So that's what I've been doing this week.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, we'll roll into it. For me, as far as gaming wise, I mean, I've done a couple little things on the phone as far as like Bejeweled and Candy Crush and stuff like that. Nothing, no real hardcore type of gaming. I do plan on finishing Plague 12 Requiem. I got to get back into that and try to. My husband has been playing it, and so he's been like coming here. Oh man, you got to finish the story, And so I'm like, okay, well, fine. And that means I have to kind of pause whatever game I'm on and try to finish this. Cause I know he gonna want to talk about this thing. So I have to get back into that. So that will be getting my attention. So let's just go and get into it. We're just rolling into the topics. The first topic, of course, is Developer Direct. Microsoft put out, Xbox put out a news article and a tweet about Developer Direct, which is going to be like this. From what we can read from the official website, it's like this. It's going to be like a smaller scoped event, a streamed event, where it focuses on a couple of development studios and give us some highlights on games that's coming up soon. And so I want to get from you all like what y'all think about the titles that they announced in that, and for Developer Direct. I can go over the 4 of them that were highlighted in the article, which was Forza Motorsport, Redfall, Elder Scrolls Online, and there's one more. What's the other one they mentioned?
Come on, Forza, the one.
Minecraft Legends was the other
Minecraft,
game.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to get y'all thoughts on Developer Direct. And did y'all see my tweet? Go.
Yes, of course we seen it. I think.
Who's next?
You and apparently like over 50,000 people.
Right.
And 200,000 views.
240,000 from because this morning I was just like, wow, I had to turn my notifications off. It was hilarious.
Yeah. I bet. Yeah.
I bet.
It's funny because I thought it was y'all at first. I was like, man, what are they talking about, man?
Because we was talking about you. Yeah. We were talking about you. And the thing about it is, I guess Delilah is like the last one to see the tweets of the morning,
Yeah.
So when me and Elle and CHAREECE, we be talking in the morning, Delilah is somewhere else. I don't know where, but she ain't there.
Painting, doing something.
I don't know. I'm doing something that ain't there. So
I'm also designing a PC case, and so that's getting a lot of my time too. But yeah, it's a whole.
I just saw it and I was like, oh my god! And then Aaron retweeted it, and everybody was just laughing. I think it was hilarious.
It was pretty funny. And sometimes when I feel like I'm over it, I'll see it again. I'm like, this is just too good. It's too funny. It's hilarious. But yeah, so I'm excited for everything they're gonna show. Cause I feel like it's about time. I did expect for them to do something for the Game Awards, and they didn't. And so now I'm like, I'm glad we're gonna get something at least, at the bare minimum. Right. So. If I had to pick something that I'm really looking forward to seeing, it definitely would be Redfall. You know what I mean? I feel like Redfall has a potential to like really capture people and engage people, because a lot of people think it's just a Left 4 Dead clone. A lot of people really think that, like, it's another Left 4 Dead, or it's another, And so I mean, they're gonna begin to release bits and more detail and more bits and pieces about that game. I think it's got potential to surprise some people.
I think that the rumor mill is saying that Redfall might have a May release date, but it's still, we'll find out on the 25th. But I figured that it was gonna be, that would technically be second quarter, but I was hoping it was gonna be first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, but if you judge from what they did at was it E3 last year, and they would say, "Oh, this is the next 12 months." I mean, it still will fall in that window, right? Like, so.
Oh yeah.
It's weird because like they also showed Starfield, and they also showed a whole bunch of other stuff.
Right, which means that Starfield has to come out by June,
and they have to like balance in that. I think it's going to be a very difficult thing because you want to be.
I would love it. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. You would love it. What?
I would love it if we saw the developer showcase on the 25th, and they were like, Redfall's next month.
Oh, that would be so good. That'd be so good.
Right?
Yes, it would.
That would be great.
Yeah.
But would you be scared that it probably would compete with Hogwarts Legacy? Because that's the first week of February.
Oof. It's a fine line. It's a fine line. It's a balance.
I feel like so many people that are going to buy Hogwarts have already pre-ordered. The people who are going to play Harry Potter or play Hogwarts are going to play it regardless. And I feel like that game is not going to be... It's single player, and I don't think it's going to take you like incredibly too long to finish it. You know what I mean? Unless it's about to be like Red Dead or The Witcher.
20,
and even if
30 hours, 40 hours.
And even if it is like Red Dead or The Witcher, you can leave and come back. Because even for me, I left and came back and finished Red Dead, which I don't do that to a lot of games. But if you are that type of game, you're gonna come back. So,
I know a lot of people like I do that. I genre juggle. Like I have an RPG that I'm playing, then I have a shooter that I'm also playing. So that it's not like I'm not playing two RPGs at the same time. So, and because those games are fundamentally different, it may be a room for both, right, in the market. So it's like, but I still think they have to balance it. It has to be a balance. Like you look at what's coming out, you're like, okay, where's Zelda at? Okay, boom, where's that? Okay, because it's so many bangers coming out early this year.
Yeah.
Because we about to get like it's about to be like, unless something gets delayed, it's about to be a floodgate that open and just be like, here's a game.
Right.
Pocket's gonna be hurting.
You already know.
Unless you got Game Pass, then your pockets may not hurt as others.
As bad, right?
I'm telling you, Elder Scrolls Online, I don't even care. I don't know. I don't know the experience.
The game still has a ton of people though. Like
I know.
I know it's crazy though.
I know. It's just that I just couldn't get jiggy with it. Yeah. Minecraft Legends though. I want to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
I want to see.
Me too.
I want to see. Redfall. Everybody wants Redfall, and it got a little steam this week.
I want Redfall to do great, to do well. That's it. That's what I really, because like I've played Arcane's games. You know, they have a certain like their shooting mechanic. They have a certain feel to all their games. You know, but they do a great job with their like subsystems in games. What that means is like managing your magic and then incorporating your shooting, and then you gotta do something else in addition to the shooting. You know, as far as like your jumping and you know, like even like with I want to say Deathloop. And like how you had this, you know, you had these series of levels, but you was kind of going back through them on different times of the day. It's like the way they do that and the way they told the story around that was incredible. But then it's the gunplay and the abilities too. And it's like, man, what are they gonna think of when it comes to abilities with all these characters? You know, with these four main characters, like, I mean, and then they support each other, you know, because you got a sniper, you got someone who's like all gadgets and stuff. So I feel like it's like class based, and I mean, and you can still kind of play the way you want to play, according to like what they show, like in the videos and stuff. It seems like you can still kind of play the way you want to play. So that's why I'm looking forward to this direct, so you can we can get a lot of get more detail. Like I'm curious. I can't wait.
11 days.
It'll be here before you know it. We'll be talking about it.
We gonna be talking about it.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we can roll into the next topic. I sent you all a little list. I mean, hopefully I gave you a little bit of time to look at it. But this is one that was kind of a common discussion on Twitter if you were paying attention a little bit. And that's between the whole, you know, it's still the Activision Blizzard thing that's going out there. A lot of little news articles always pop up with that. And so a lot of the community discussion has been around the Google and Nvidia. They certainly has like a stake in this whole thing, right? And so they pretty much expressed their concerns about the deal. And I just wanted to get you all's opinion on what you think about this. Do you think it's really going to do anything in regards to this deal being able to close? So
I didn't get to see their actual comments, but I know that the last thing that I did see was essentially stating that the suit with the FTC is looking more frivolous, right? Like they don't even feel like it's gonna do anything.
One thing I found confusing, just like, after reading through the articles and stuff, from the FTC's argument was when they said, "Oh yeah, we got concerns about it, but we're not formally filing up."
Right.
I was like, okay, that just doesn't make any sense. Like,
why are we doing this then?
Yeah, it's like more of a scare tactic.
I have a tinfoil hat moment. I'm having a tinfoil hat moment right now.
Okay.
Y'all bear with me. I could be wrong, but I'm just thinking. Okay, Google made Stadia, right?
Yeah.
Can we all agree that it wasn't as successful as they thought it would be?
That's true. So you think it's some hatred, huh? You think it's some
hell yeah.
I figured the same thing. Like they probably see what Sony's doing. They're like, well, shit, let's do it too.
I really think it's some hater shit. They just want to just delay the inevitable. And basically at this point, I really am not too invested in like every major turn of this deal. But what I'm seeing from what you put up here, I just think it's some hater shit between Google and Nvidia. I think it is. I think it's another out. They got two separate outlets with, because at times some of these drivers you can be able to purchase the game through their program, because that's with this one, Stadia been trashed since day one, and they feel like, well, shit, we just can't have this deal. I mean, if we can't get none, if we can't get no bread, they can't get no bread. This is just my tinfoil hat moment. I'm just saying.
Well, see, I looked at it a little bit different, because I looked at it like for the mobile market. I didn't look at it as like, okay, Stadia. I looked at it as because Nvidia also has a program that you use on your phone for gaming, and Google has their app store, right? Apple has an app store, and then if you get Microsoft, they don't have a strong stake in this part of the industry yet, and so for them making this acquisition, then suddenly, like after this acquisition closed, they will have a stake in King, which has a huge stake in the mobile market, and so it just kind of instantly makes them a competitor. Then I think that's so what you're saying is, it makes sense, even though you think it's like tinfoil hat. Part of it makes sense, but I wouldn't think I would, except for like the Stadia angle. Like it's more so mobile market angle. That's how when I read the article, that was my perception of the article, was like, oh, okay, so they're concerned about the mobile market, right? And so the alignment with Sony, it's like it's there, but not really. It's like they're concerned about something slightly different than what Sony is. Sony's concerned about the console market. Then you got Nvidia, Google, mobile market. So it's like, businesses are, especially when you're competing like that, you're gonna do whatever you think is necessary to keep your business functional, thriving, and stuff. And so when a new competitor come in like that, someone as big and as powerful as Microsoft, you're gonna be like, try to raise some eyebrows and be like, what's going on over here. But I think the competition is important, and that's what this whole thing is about. Let them compete. Right. Let them in there. They need another person. They need another player.
And I think it's like indicative of what you're saying. Like the fact that they're even bucking lets you know that them entering the market means more competition, which means better for the consumer, which I think we need to, do a better job of realizing. I mean, I know Twitter is just like filled with people with their hot garbage takes and, the console wars, which is just like ridiculous. But we have to do a better job as consumers of being champions of competition, because competition means lower prices for us, means more content for us, and we win in high competition markets. Consumers, the reason why we see all the issues we see with insurance and things like that is because there isn't a lot of competition.
That's right.
The reason why people
Cable
went to
companies,
streaming services because cable companies had monopolies and there wasn't enough competition, so they were able to charge crazy prices.
That's right.
So the competition leads to more options, lower prices.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you completely because one example we can look at too was Netflix and Disney.
Yeah,
Disney probably woke up one day and was like, "We got enough content to compete with Netflix. We could just pull our content and create our own thing." And it's been booming ever since over there with new shows, new content, movies being transferred over. And then it forced Netflix to be like, we need new shows, new content, so it's...
And Apple joined the game.
Apple TV.
They're like, look, we gonna get ours in too. And the thing that I said, like, if you want everything, it's gonna cost you.
Yeah.
But if you want to be more cost, what do I want to say? If you want to lower your costs, you can only have one thing, and it's fine. There's no restrictions on you starting and stopping.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can just have Netflix for the time when the show that you want to watch is there. You can have Apple for the time when the show that you like to watch is there.
Yeah, it's a la carte, right? You can be like, okay, I got Netflix because of Stranger Things, but as soon as I jump rap, I'm out. Like,
really?
I mean, you can no. I'm just making an example.
Okay.
Okay. Damn. but that's just like you picking a show that you really like, and that show it doesn't release every month, right? And Netflix has been doing this thing where they release all their episodes at one time.
It's starting to stop though.
Oh yeah, I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, but think about what did that. Competition did that.
Right.
They noticed that Amazon's doing this. Amazon's dropping their it's episodic.
Right.
They waiting and every Wednesday we dropping a new show because it keeps you coming back. Because you can pull up to watch that one show and then you can see other new shows, other new movies while you in there. But if you binge it, you probably gonna go in there that one time, watch that whole show, and then you out. You ain't returning. You ain't going back. So, but competition wouldn't have forced that, because before it was only Netflix doing that. And everybody felt like it was a plus. Oh man, I can watch all the shows at one time. I don't gotta wait the next week. But then you start thinking about. Cause I remember when we were watching what was that show on HBO Max?
Insecure.
We watch Insecure. It forced you to have discussions every week about right, and so it was kind of like a community building aspect to it too. So yeah, and so just to try to bring it all back.
Show.
You ain't like it? Okay.
The one in Miami?
I liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought it's a comedy, right? So I thought it was hilarious. And let's hopefully we're talking about the same show first of all.
Right? Because I was gonna say I don't know about comedy, but all right.
For me, it felt like a comedy to me. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on then. We'll see what this does. Like, I mean, maybe you're right in that it just kind of delays the inevitable, but we'll see. Because
only time will tell.
FTC is very serious about this.
There's a deadline though that they have. Yeah, I think it's early this summer, that they have to make a decision or the deal has to be squashed. And I think Microsoft.
Yeah, she froze.
She froze.
Yeah.
I don't know what she was gonna say about that, but they got to the summer.
Yeah, they
got to the summer.
That's right.
Okay, so they got to this is not like they can sit and let it marinate. They actually got like a schedule.
Yeah, there's a timeline. I don't know the timeline. I don't really know the ins and outs of it. I just there's supposedly this timeline, and so I mean we'll get more information eventually, I'm sure.
I mean, I think it's just good for people to educate themselves on what's going on, but not be oversaturated and eclipse everything of what you want about gaming. Like, this is just a fraction of everything about gaming. It shouldn't envelop everything. You should be playing some games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. Like, I mean, I think it's interesting that you're right. It seems like every week we talk about this. Something drops and we're like, okay, well, what about this piece and what about that piece? But But you're right. It should really be all about the competition in the games. That's it.
Yeah.
This should not be.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, when we were younger, I don't think we even had a thought in the world
Right,
of
about the business part.
About the business, about you know, grabbing companies and, you know, studios, all that shit.
Yeah.
When we were younger, we did not know that at all.
Just
But
play the
now,
games.
as we get older, it's good to educate yourself on that shit, but don't let it be everything about it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you, if I didn't, I would still play games if I didn't even know about them. If I wasn't like open-minded or to want to know what's behind the scenes, I still would be playing video games. So
yeah, I mean,
that should be the most important thing, right?
Yeah, and I feel the same way. Like, regardless of what happens, the games are still gonna drop. You're still gonna get your titles. You know what I mean? You're still gonna get. So it's just like one thing though that could change would be like the investment and the influence and what you get, like what type of games you get, and the cadence, and also what you pay for them. Because think about it, if this deal goes through, those titles could hit Game Pass. You see what I mean? So that changes. It changes it. It changes your financial outlook on the games you purchase for, you know, the studios. So it's like you know, obviously we care about the games and that's our primary concern. But it's like financially, when you know you got other bills you trying to take care of and pay, and you got families and stuff. It's like you cannot. I mean, you have to think of that too. It's just inevitable. You have to think about that too, as far as like taking care of your family and paying these games, because now games went up in price. You know, they're $70 a pop, and you know, granted, you don't have to play every game, but as someone being a fan of games, like you want to, you want it, because we approach games like people who watch TV and watch movies and stuff like that. We consume the entertainment, so we value that. If I'm saving money by using this service, I'm gonna do that. You know, I got other bills. So,
all right, you back, Book?
Hey, I'm back. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and pivot to it's a topic that you kind of involved with, Boogie. So, I mean, you want me to start with you because it's about Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, but I don't see how it's involving me. Go ahead.
Because you played it. Because you played
it. That was your game. So look, Callisto Protocol, apparently during the development of this game, they actually left out 20 developers in the credits for Callisto Protocol. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So now they got this whole thing. Is like, you know, what about the other 20 people that worked on the title? I guess the one thing I want to ask Boogie was like, you know, not only did that game not make its projections, there was another article about it not making its financial projection. When you were playing the game, did you get a sense of that? Like, okay, this game is not what I expected it to be, or what the advertisements was, and what is it? What could that game do to bring you back into it? Because I don't think you're gonna go back, but what could that game do to bring you back?
I will say that it just got stale quickly. Like it seemed like
gameplay loop.
Yeah, and it seemed like it was like I don't see how anybody played it on any harder difficulty, because it already felt like it was harder than it needed to be just to extend the length of the game. And it was like always like, okay, we give you a little piece of story, and then you gotta like go damn near save the world every time to get to another area for you to get another little piece of story.
So the pacing for the between the gameplay and the story wasn't well balanced.
It was too far in between.
Okay,
right. So it was like you had to do like, you know, what can I equate it to? So you would get story and then think of doing like 5 side missions to get to another piece of story. Right. So it was like, and then, you know, that whole time you're just like, the guy can't run. That shit was annoying too. Like, he can't run. He only goes at 1 speed.
Can't jump
And shit. So it's like, you're like sloshing like this the whole time trying to get through. So it was like, you know, it was very much like trying to pull a donkey uphill.
Yeah. I can't believe you can't run in that game. I thought it was like, I tried looking it up. And
I know.
They had a run button. I guess it wasn't.
Damn.
Wasn't running for me. I was pressing all that shit. I was pressing all the buttons trying to figure out how to run.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Man, but
yeah, I feel like maybe if you played it on like extra easy, it wouldn't have been as bad because I'm assuming, yeah.
Now, for the story
like
you did experience, was it good though? Like the story that you did was able to, because you said the pacing wasn't great, but the story that when you did get to it, it was like, man, this is good. This is going somewhere. This is good. Was that the?
Not until like the very end, because once I got to where I was toward the end, it was like a plot twist. Mm-hmm. So then you were more intrigued. You wanted to know more of the story. So up until then, it was like, all right, this is okay. Mm-hmm. But then when you had that plot twist, you were like, damn, this mofo knew the whole time. They've been watching this the whole time. So then you were like, okay, now I want to know more. But for me, it's not worth it for me to go back and find out more because I know I'm going to have to do like 30 minutes of gameplay to get 2 minutes of story.
Gameplay's a chore. Feel like a chore. And see, games, they shouldn't feel like, I used to feel like that about, what was it, a Souls game. I was like, just for me to play through this game, I should not be feeling like stressed out and depressed. Just to get through the game.
Yeah, and that's how it was. You like, yo, I don't need like 30 minutes of stress for 2 minutes of story. I don't need it. I'm good.
Oh man, that's cold. Don't do it like that. But that's kind of true though. But that's kind of true. That's kind of true.
Elden Ring wasn't that bad though.
Yeah.
Because like, if I didn't feel like encountering this person, I could literally like run away and go do something else.
Yeah.
Which was nice, you know? Like that was the part about Souls games that I hated, because you remember, like I couldn't even get past the first part, and it was just like, okay, so I just can't play this fucking game.
Yeah,
no,
like, what is this?
That was Dark Souls 3.
The first 5 minutes.
I'm like, so I got to get past this guy just to get into the game.
Yeah,
and I can't get past this guy, so fuck you. You can't play the game.
That's what. Yep. Exactly.
So the game you spent years making, 4-5 years making, I can't even enjoy it. Whatever, I can't see the art you put in there. I can't see the story you wrote.
It's the point of
and
getting
you can't
good.
get nobody to help you or nothing. So I'm just like,
oh no. After that, you can, but
see, after that though. But see,
like if you new to Souls games, you just SOL.
Yeah. What you mean? I was new to Souls games, and that was my first one, and I got past it.
Okay, I did not. Like, I don't get that shit.
Like, you're speaking for you. That's it.
Right. And I know that there's other people that were like me, because there's a ton of people that are like, fuck Souls games. I'm not picking up a Souls games because I'm not about to be ready to like break my fucking controller just to get past the point.
You gotta get good. You gotta get good.
Do you?
Yeah.
No, I don't. There's so many other games out there.
I don't.
I go play Halo. I go play something else.
Right. My happy ass take my happy ass to Dreamlight Valley, right?
And we stuck there for hours. We like, I'm out.
Right. Like, I'm paying you, motherfuckers.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. You got it. I understand. I understand.
It's like buying a movie you can't watch. Like, what? What are we doing? What are we really doing? I paid $70. I can't even watch the movie. Like, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
And there's no easy. There's no easy mode. So you can't be like, oh, let me turn down the difficulty. What? No.
You can't do that. Yeah. And don't quit the game wrong, because you might lose your save.
Right.
Get good.
Yeah.
Get good. The fuck? Fuck out of here.
No, it's choice. I don't have to get good. I can go play something else.
Right. I set your ass down. Okay.
I do have an opinion about Callisto Protocol. Mm-hmm. Based on what I saw from LBOOGIE stream, I ain't gonna hold you. She didn't. I think that she was doing her challenge, but I don't think she would have played this that much independently.
Yeah.
Is that fact?
Yeah. Like I probably would have set it down like earlier.
Yeah,
but
she would have
been
been
have
like
to play
first
it
stream. She would have played.
But I felt like I got far in the time that I did play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that, and I know
how far I got.
I got that too, because I know I was going back and forth. Like, you all know I don't like scary games either, but what intrigued me about Callisto Protocol was the Dead Space themes and then the realistic graphics. Like, I was so impressed with the graphics, and I was like, man, this might be worth playing. Even though I don't like scary games, I kind of want to see the art. But then after watching Boogie play, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's for me because that combat it didn't seem fun. It seemed like more of a chore than just I'm having fun. And because like when you just go back to the comparison we were making with Elden Ring and with the Souls games, it's like in Elden Ring the combat was actually fun though. Like once you get it, and then you can change your style once you get a new weapon, and you can play distance if you want. You can use magic if you want. It's like that's fun. This felt just from obviously from the outside looking in, watching Boogie's challenge stream. It's like I don't know about the combat.
It might be a no for me, dog. It might be a fail
exactly.
Because, and I know there were certain developers that worked on the Dead Space series that did Callisto Protocol, and I think the mistake was, for me, the biggest mistake, that they made this game so much like Dead Space, like Dead Space Light, Diet Dead Space. That's all I hear.
Melee.
That's all I heard.
Because you have the melee aspect of it instead of the shooting.
Half the access, like half the stuff in that game was a direct inspiration from the Dead Space.
Even series. The UI, like the little thing that come over and the character life meter, everything, they took a lot of aspects from Dead Space.
Like 2 million in sales. I was like, damn, if they would have like made a good story, talked to EA, continue the story of Isaac Clarke.
Well, see,
and
you got a remake coming though. You got the remake. You got the Dead Space remake coming. That's gonna be a direct competitor to that. And they're independent studio. Like this is their first title. Now it's great for their first title. You can tell that they have the experience, right? Because you can look at the graphics and see that. You can the atmosphere and how it's built. But it's like I'm with you in regards to its uniqueness. Making sure they just stand out on its own. I think that's why they went with that whole slogging melee based combat. They didn't want it to be a shooter like Dead Space. And like you said, that may have been the downfall of it, because to me the gameplay is the most important. It has to be that first 15 that 15-second loop, that 15 to 20 second loop has to be engaging and attention grabbing, and just dodge, attack, then timing that dodge, and then you got to do it in a certain cadence. Like it didn't seem like it was fun. So that's my take. So they had to lower their sales.
The problem is that the combat that you just described, is that going to hit enough people to make a profit? You know what I mean? Because there are going to be some people that are fine with that, but it's like, are there going to be enough people that are okay with that combat for you to make a profit? Because if there are not enough people that want to play that, then these games that take millions and billions of dollars,
How was the shooting though? Like, because granted, I'm speaking on this, but I didn't play it. But how was the shooting part? Because I know it had some shooting mechanic, but it was really largely melee.
Yeah, the shooting's like all right, but like you said, it's I think a little after where I'm at, you get more guns, so it takes you most of the game.
Oh wow.
With like a pistol, and then once you get to a certain part of the game, you start to get better guns, and then you're able to like do more gun play. But up until then, it's just mainly melee, which, like you said, you got to be very meticulous on how you do that.
Yeah, and I also know that like using the abilities, because pushing enemies into spikes and stuff was part of the core aspect of it too, and like the environment itself was dangerous, so you had to kind of use that as like a way to help you in combat. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. It's
all right. So I just checked, and there's 8 chapters, and I'm in below right now, and then there's 2 more chapters after this, and that's it. So I got pretty far.
And you still not gonna finish it?
Nope. I'm about to close this shit right back up.
And see, that's interesting when like you don't, and then that's the thing. It's like a movie. When you watch a movie, you don't care about the characters. Like everybody can die, I don't care. Like that's how.
So so I've been watching Kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
On Netflix with
Esposito.
What's the guy? Esposito. Juan Carlo Esposito, right? And I love him, and I love everybody else except for one character. And the one character keeps getting on my fucking nerves. And now I haven't finished it because his ass gets on my nerves that much.
Damn, really?
Wow. Because I gotta watch it.
Because you just like kill his ass.
Be done with him.
Right.
It's like they put that annoying
because you can
character in
tell
on
like
purpose.
he's gonna fuck shit up for everybody. Like just kill his ass. I feel like in real life somebody would have just been like, "Fuck you, motherfucker." You did.
Oh man, I have to check it out. I heard it was good though. I heard it was really good.
And then I also recommend for anybody who's gonna watch Kaleidoscope, there's different ways in which you can watch it. Every person who logs into Netflix to start to watch it gets a different
That is wild.
Shuffle.
Oh, really?
A different shuffle. Yes.
Oh, okay.
But there is a chronological order in which you can watch it. I can send it to y'all. Yeah. But if you look it up online, there is a chronological order in which you can watch it, which I think might have been better for me if I watched it that way. Because the way that I'm watching it is the way that Netflix has given it to me. So I've seen things in like whatever jumbo order they're giving it to me.
I think I'm gonna watch that when I get off here and eat some lunch.
No, that's unique. But I think they did it to kind of spark conversation around the show though. It's
right.
Like, man, which episode did you see?
And to make shows like that. Right.
Mm-hmm. That's unique though. That is unique, and that's. I mean, I love the creativity with that. All right, well, we'll pivot from Callisto Protocol to speak on the actual article. They need to make sure they get those devs' names in there, because if I contributed to something, I want my name in the credits. I absolutely want my name in the credits. If I put,
did they talk about like why they pull people out? Is it because they like lost their job, or because it sounds like some pettiness, right? Like some ill will. Like I'm mad y'all left, so now I'm gonna take your name off.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's some
Sometimes
hater
these
shit.
things work off contracts. So if you
really?
say you had, I'm serious. Let's say if you had a contract and like you only did one thing, and then they can be like, you don't have to be in the credits because you didn't put at least at minimum 6 months.
X amount of hours or whatever, yeah.
And they have right to be like exclude you. So, and think about if it don't match. Like you tell your future employer that like, oh, I worked on such and such a game. They look at the credit list and your name is not even there.
Yeah, but I see like people
cap.
who did like whole levels, because there was another game recently that also had a bunch of devs that were taken off, and I can't remember the name, but people were like on Twitter talking about it, and it was like, this person designed like a whole fucking level, and they took and they didn't get no credit.
Yeah, that's wild.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully they clean that up, because that's important. Anytime somebody helped, and Callisto Protocol, like you could tell from like the graphic fidelity and all the work they put into it, it seemed like it was a big undertaking for that team, and we know that team's new. This is their first title, so they gotta. And I will say too, like with most games, the graphical fidelity was best during cutscenes. Mm-hmm. That's usually the case, though. That's usually the case.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they better put their name on it. I'll be mad. I'm sorry. I would.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I don't care if I made this sandwich and I put the lettuce on that shit. They better be saying lettuce, Lady Infamous, or we gonna have a problem. But it's true. Give credit what credit is due, and if they are on the team and they getting a salary and they put in the work, they should get the credit.
That's true. I agree. So we kind of touched on subscriptions and whatnot a little bit earlier. But I guess the way I can pivot this question is like, what are the negative aspects of having a subscription, right? And when you think about stuff like Game Pass, or they also had like Stadia, and then you have a Luna. Was it Luna? Amazon's Luna, which I haven't heard anybody talk about Luna. So if anyone's in the chat that have used Luna, please,
still paying
DM
for it,
me.
Not playing it.
That's right.
I don't know. I ain't seen. I don't see a lot of people on the Luna tip.
Like DM me, send me a message, something at DELILAH_HD, and let me know on Twitter, and let me know like your perception of what you think about Luna, because I haven't seen an article. I haven't heard much of anything about Luna, and so I mean I'm always hearing about Game Pass, and so I don't know if it's just my bubble, and that's why I'm asking that. But the subscription model, like I guess I was looking at this article, and the Tunic developer who, if you remember Tunic, it came out on Game Pass, and that's where they started, as far as getting their name out there, getting people acclimated and stuff. They went with the subscription model, but they say it can be exciting because you're going to get a bunch of eyes on your game off the rip because there's so many people that's already subscribed to these services, versus it's terrifying in the fact that you the upfront profit, like the potential for like, oh, I'm gonna sell X amount of dollars as opposed to a fixed income, because we really don't know how it all works, right? It's like only people that would know this is people who are way above my pay grade, etc. So it's like, I don't, as far as the Tunic subscription, how that worked. And the terrifying part was in the comparison as far as the article was concerned, was that, okay, but you know, who knows how many you will sold just selling it regular as opposed to putting it in subscription. So now developers are having to, it's all up in the industry, going to have to decide on whether they go with the subscription model by throwing it into one of these services, or they just sell it outright. Especially indie studios have to make that decision. So I wanted to get y'all perception on this, or y'all thought on this. Or do you think, okay, I'm not even worried about that, I'm looking at it from the consumer side, I'm just gonna pay my subscription, and whatever jump in there I'm cool with. But you know, I know us specifically, like we do both. Like we'll you know, play a game with a subscription, and we'll still buy that one-off game on PlayStation or on PC or whatever. It's just, that's just how we are. But most people are gonna get to a point where they have to decide. And so I wanted to get y'all thought on that, because I know I've had issues where, like, man, I'll wait till it go to Game Pass. Like, but this, I know it. Hopefully one day it'll be on Game Pass. I think I did that with Deathloop. I was like, okay, you know, 2 and 2 equals 4. So if Microsoft bought Bethesda, the chances of Deathloop coming to Xbox is very high. So I'm not gonna buy the game outright, even though it's released on PlayStation. I'm just gonna wait till that bad boy come to Game Pass. You know, so
all subscriptions ain't created equal. Everybody knows that subscriptions is like another way to entice the consumer to spend money and, you know, get a skin, get new levels, get new weapons. But my problem with Tunic though, ain't Tunic like a single player game?
Yeah. That's just it. Like Tunic, it has, you know, you can play it multiple.
I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm not saying
it's a great game, by the way. Fantastic.
It's not a bad game, and I'm not saying but a subscription leans towards more multiplayer games.
I don't feel that way.
Rogue Company, Rainbow Six Siege, Fortnite, Destiny. When I think of microtransactions,
like content constantly being cycled in is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, because even for Tunic, like if they do a subscription, that means extra content's coming.
It could be, because they were they were pretty vocal in the article, right, about like their decisions on going to the subscription route versus going, you know, not selling it outright. They opted to put it in Game Pass first. But to me, I feel like if you do the Game Pass first thing and then sell your title later, to me it's like best of both worlds, because you're gonna get some money up front and on the back end. At least that's how I look at it from a business perspective, but I could be wrong. I mean, who knows, right? So I don't know. That's why I want to ask y'all, because I don't really know. Like, I can only look at it from a consumer perspective. I know what I want. Personally, I want everything in Game Pass because it's just convenient and easier for me.
I feel like what they hinted at is the reality, which is, you know, for smaller companies, it's going to be harder for them to keep up with a subscription, right? Because you know how long it took Tunic to come out, because it's a smaller company. I think it started with one dev or whatever.
Yeah, one person. Yeah.
So it's like, how would that person be able to compete in a subscription market where you have deadlines to be able to produce content at a certain point? It's going to be hard for them.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for them to keep up.
But I think when you think about that like that, and now that I think of, realize that, okay, it started out with one person, Game Pass probably was the best thing for them, because you're going to get all those people to be like, oh, it's on Game Pass, let me just check it out. I don't got to think about whether I want to buy this game or not. It's just there. So, I mean, to me, that's a smart play, especially when you're an unknown studio, unknown game, relatively unknown. Just people were gravitating towards the fact that it looked like Foxy Zelda, right? Like, oh, it's got this artsy cutesy type thing, but when you play it, it's extremely deep, and it's like a Souls aspect to it. It's got Metroidvania aspects to it. I love that game. I absolutely love that game. If I had to get a game, that game is like a 9 out of 10 for me. I love the game so much. And so, man, I see the, you know, the difficulty in deciding on whether, okay, how are we gonna approach our games going forward? Are we gonna sell them straight up? Because I know some titles do it the opposite way. We've seen it where they release the game to get the money on the front end, and then they later on throw the game in Game Pass and try to get more. If it don't sell well, don't do great, and then they put in the Game Pass and are trying to get people like more engaged with it. I think what was that multiplayer game we were playing from Square Enix? Outriders. I think Outriders did something like that.
Yeah.
So I think
Outriders went straight to Game Pass, didn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember. But
I don't remember paying for that. So yeah.
Well, I just know that I feel like right now, because it's still this whole subscription versus, you know, decision from the indie developers is new, that the verdict is still out on what's the best method for teams. I think over time, if the right strategy began to reveal itself, and it may be one that never reveal itself, right? Because it could be just dependent on the game and what people gravitate toward. So I don't know. I feel like we may have this 2-tiered approach to selling your games, or 3-tiered really approach to selling your games for quite a long time. So it's cool. I thought it was an interesting topic though. But if you all want to read it a little bit more on a deeper level, I'll put the link to this article in Discord on our GWG Discord chat. I think it's worth reading through it. All right, so I'll go ahead and just pivot to our next topic, which is a little. I was looking for something Nintendo related, and so I noticed this because it stood out. It's that Saudi has been involved in gaming for quite a bit as far as their investment, and so now they have increased their stakes into Nintendo by to 6%. I believe their percentage was lower than that, but they decided to increase their stake, and this is just something I knew a little bit, but I didn't know they had like a stake in Nintendo. So I want to get you all opinion on that, but I don't think there's really too much to talk about when it comes to that, because it's like, okay, they did that, and like what can we do about it, really? Like,
I think it's so wild that it's like a whole country, right?
Like government,
the whole government has like a stake. I don't know.
In Nintendo, yeah. And I think recently, Tencent is based in China, right?
Yep.
China did the same thing with Tencent. They just recently bought a stake in Tencent, the government, because they want to be able to kind of influence decisions and what Tencent is doing. You know, Tencent is massive. It's one of the hugest gaming. It's got control of the largest gaming share, I believe, when they broke it all down based on numbers, because they got like Riot Games, Epic Games. Tencent has their hand in almost everybody that's important. I know our channel talked about this quite a bit, and so for the Chinese government to be like, we're gonna have to get a stake in Tencent, to me that speaks volume, right? Just so they can be like reel them in a little bit.
I know, and I think probably because we're American, it's just like so out of the realm to think that the government is just like, I'm putting money here, because do we have any company that's based in America?
I don't know that our government actually has a stake in. I don't know. I think our checks and balances are very different here.
Right. Like that would be a big red flag for us, right?
Right. And then another thing too, because because it could be a corruption play, right? Because you just don't know, right? And so just even think about what's happening with Microsoft and the FTC situation. It's like they can't even buy whatever they want. It's like
right. Because like if the government had a stake in Microsoft, this would not even be.
Would it be a problem?
It wouldn't even be a problem.
They're like, okay, yeah, we're increasing our investment. Cool, no problem. Right. Y'all got it. We competing with the world, not just Google. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's interesting.
And to be the devil's advocate, maybe we're on the late freight with this. Like maybe our government should be doing it, because like maybe you said, we're competing on a global scale, not just companies here. So it's like, I mean,
yeah, maybe this signals what we should be doing. Maybe this signals what y'all should be having a stake in these companies. I'm just trying to tell you.
Right. You know? Because other countries.
Right.
Yeah.
You know. Because it's not like these are small countries. Like, these are big governments with
big players.
Yes,
with a lot of money. With a lot of money.
Exactly. So,
and Saudi Arabia isn't necessarily a big country, but they have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because of that R. That R.
All right, so
black gold.
So we'll go ahead and pivot, and I don't know if I'm gonna get to the Apple VR headset, but I definitely want to mention it a little bit. But I did want to mention Maverick Games, because it's a studio that's been formed from former developers or former leadership members of Playground Games. And so this week they announced they're starting their own AAA studio. What's weird when I was going through the articles about Maverick Games is that they're also still working with Playground a little bit on something. So I don't know how that works.
I mean, that's good though, because that means it wasn't a bad relationship.
Yeah, like they're still able to be like
scorn.
Yeah,
right.
because this guy was he was like the director of like the Horizon series.
Which could be good for Microsoft, right? Because if it isn't like a scorn thing, then we won't have a situation like we had with who's the one that's making Spider-Man right now?
Insomniac.
Then you don't have a situation with Insomniac where they're just like, we're not making games for you no more.
We out. We going over here. We go over here.
Right. We going over
or you
here
could say,
now.
or you could arguably say Bungie, because Bungie, Bungie was acquired by. They used to be.
Bungie is like the pass around, right?
Man, Bungie is the contract kings.
Yes,
they got a way out of everything.
Ever paying me is who I'm with.
That's right. What they say for the streets?
Yeah,
to the streets. To the streets, like I am.
Too funny.
So this could be good for Microsoft. This could be, another company that plays nice, right?
Yeah, it could, and we know they got the talent because I mean they got like,
I mean, because how you spin off and you already we make it AAA.
That's it. Like off rip. Like we ain't making it. We ain't doing anything. But we make AAA off top.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, that's what. Speaking on the title that we just mentioned, that's what Callisto Protocol did. It's like, we start a new studio, but we focus on AAA. It's like we want to have that graphical fidelity. And I think what it was is the former developer at Playground. He was working on Horizon, and I think it was just he probably wanted to do something new. Because he's already said what type of title they make. He's like, it's an open world action adventure game. I'm like, so they know what they want to make. Enough to get an investment to start a new studio. And so I thought it was very interesting. And so shouts out to them. I love seeing things like this. I think it's always a sign that the industry is healthy.
Yep.
When you spin off and make new studios and stuff like that. So yeah.
And we need this because, like you said, it's the healthiness means that there's enough people to employ at these studios.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we are definitely seeing more and more people every year getting into the game space, and hopefully this means we will see less of these people work on this game, get fired here, and go work here, because that isn't good for people. And believe me, it's the biggest turnoff for me to want to be in the industry. Yeah, because I can't be having those 7-month contract now.
That's right, and the instability. It's like I got too many grown woman bills to be sitting there talking about 6 months here, 7 months here. Nah,
no, I completely understand that. I completely understand.
So.
Trust me.
Now I don't. The next topic was about, like I said, I wanted to kind of throw this in, was the Apple AR VR headset. A lot of people are trying to do this whole. They're trying to compete in this space. Meta is still actually PlayStation VR and Meta, I think they kind of a little bit neck and neck as far as adoption rate. But Meta is, I think, a little bit broader globally.
For sure.
Yeah, globally. Yeah. I think globally it's different. But I thought it was interesting that Apple's trying to get into the AR VR space, and so I guess my question here would be do you think this would be a successful venture for them? Because they're supposedly supposed to unveil this thing this year.
I think so, because it's not. We can't look just like this, right, in video games, because there are a lot of government contracts out there, business contracts out there, and for a company like Apple, they would be able to get into some of those spaces, like a lot of hospitals that use those AR, VR to simulate surgeries before they actually have the surgery, which I know Microsoft has been able to capture a lot of that at this point, which is why we had Oculus do their Pro, because they want to have something like what Microsoft has to get into that space. Well,
the HoloLens.
Right, because that's where you really make money. Because when you look at Black Friday, and when you look at just Best Buy as a whole, and you talking about a computer that you go to buy, those prices are consumer prices. Now, when you shift over to business prices, you're talking about that same computer that's now $6,000 because it's a business laptop that requires encryption and things like that. So that's where they make their money. They make their money off of these business contracts. They make the bulk of the money off
enterprise
of these
level.
Right. So that's where I see them going with this.
So you don't think it's something mainly for like consumer consumption? You think, also it could be
for business to business, not business to consumer.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that changes it though, because now I was thinking, okay, well, dang, I already have a Quest, so let me go ahead on and get some, get the Apple one and see what that's like. I know I love VR. I'm big on the space.
And they might dabble in both spaces, but I feel like the B2B is going to be their bread and butter.
Yeah, and we already know that the user experience of it's going to be top notch, because we know they put a lot of investment. So if they can, grandma going to be able to put that shit on and figure it out. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I'm excited about, because I know I do that for a living. Like, I'm always looking at interfaces and stuff like that. So that's what I'm excited about. I want to see it. Like, I want to see. I want to be able to compare the Quest with Apple's AR VR headset, and track the usability flows and stuff like that. That's what I want to do.
For me, I'm Apple head. Yeah. I'm okay, y'all. I was an Android head, and Boogie
converted you.
got me in the Apple gang, and then now I'm Appled out. I want to know if this is affordable. One, is it more of a video? Like, Boogie does have she has a point. It might not be just game related. It could be something completely different. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the VR headset is going to have probably their Apple Arcade in there somewhere.
Right, which they have a very healthy catalog.
Yes, they do.
Arcade games.
Also, that opens up for new studios or their own studios to make up something specifically for the VR.
Right.
I just need to know how much it's gonna cost, because I don't know. That's the thing about Apple is they expensive.
Yeah,
fresh off the box.
They don't care.
They don't care.
Wallet. They don't care about your wallet.
I wouldn't be surprised if that shit costed a rack.
I mean, you can possibly expect that. I mean, because if you think about
like the high end, all the memory, all that stuff could be. I'm thinking low $5. You think $5?
Oh, I think more than that, because if you think about the MetaQuest Pro, it's like $1,200 plus.
What?
Yeah. So if they're
trying to rent, you talking about rent?
Like, they're trying to compete with that. So I would expect them to come in. I expect it to be pricey. I don't expect them to be like, it's gonna be that Apple surcharge.
The name says Pro. Okay, the name says Pro in it.
That's true.
That means money.
Yeah, but I think the Quest. I still think you can find the Quest for like $399, right? I think you still find the Quest, even though they raised the price of the Quest globally. It's like you can still find it for like that. You can still find it at a decent kind of like.
You tell me where. Shit.
Well, when I find it, I'll let you know. But
the Quest 2, the low one, the 128 gig is $399.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. Like that, you can still find that. And what's interesting though, I don't think it has a micro SD slot, so you can't even upgrade the memory. Like, it'd be cool if you could buy it at that low price and then add your SD card and increase that. That's the way around all of it, but I don't think you can add a SD card to it.
I don't think so either. In the The 256 is $500, $498 plus tax.
Yeah. I mean, so I mean, you can. If I'm looking at Apple and just because of like what they're saying here as far as the AR VR headset, the fact that they got the AR part included with the VR, I feel like it's going to be competing with the Pro and not so much the base Quest model. Yep. So like HoloLens Pro, they all around $1,200. I even think the HoloLens probably maybe a little bit more expensive than that. It's just a little bit. So,
well, yeah. I hope I'm waiting to see the presentation because they got some good presentations. So they know how to present a product.
Oh yeah, they know how to sell it. They gonna sell it to you. They gonna sell it to you. Because I promise you, the only reason why I would want this, the iPhone, the one with the little, it's got the little notch on it, but then they got the notch where it transforms and show you different notifications. I'm like, yo, that's cool. I want that. Like it changed 14. That changed my whole perception on like the notch.
I mean, I have the 13, and right now for me, like that's cool. Like I'll upgrade the next time because I'll still get a good amount for this phone because it's the Pro Max, it's the big one, but it wasn't enough for me to leap right because I had a 13. If I had less than a 13, then I probably would have.
Yeah, and then that purple color, I'm like, yo, this thing's beautiful.
Yeah, purple, right? Yeah. But so next time they better do purple again. So I'm gonna be mad.
For me,
they're gonna have a teal green, greenish blue color, why? Something like that.
Hey, yo, they got that shit. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. That teal blue color. I will. I will.
I think I got a Samsung and my phone's purple. They didn't have a red, so
I'm sitting on a hot 11. A hot 11. So
so you can justify an upgrade. That's a good little jump.
Yeah. I'm think I might do it. I might do it this year.
Yeah, but that notch, man, like, that was my biggest complaint, for them to fix that like to fix it, you know, because Samsung they've got it to where they trims around the actual camera, right? So it's cool because it's minimalized and it's out the way. But Apple transformed how it like what's around it. And I'm like, that's how you solve that,
right? Because then it's just like the screen is still there.
That's it, and
it's just a little dot now, and they're able to
add notifications, do little touch sensitive things. I'm like, brilliant, and that's what Apple does. So I can't wait to see this. Just for my own UX research study.
So we gonna jump you in, Delilah?
Y'all try it out. And
no, that don't mean I'm leaving. That don't mean I'm leaving Samsung. I said that was the only reason why I would.
She gonna have two phones, is what she's saying. She gonna have two phones.
One for the crib and one for the low. Let's go. I got two phones.
I didn't know. I did not say that, but it's beautiful though. I'm I call it how I see it. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful phone. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, it sucks because I prefer Android. No,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Come on now. But
you about to have two phones.
All right, though. So it's about that time. You know, we got, if you got questions, go ahead and throw your questions in the chat.
I already got a couple.
So let's go ahead and on the tidbits, y'all. So first of all, do y'all have any tidbits?
I just want to watch. I can't wait for The Boys season 4.
The Boys season, okay.
The Boys, because I think the people that are making it said that season 4 is going to be the most disgusting season ever.
How? 3 was already kind of crazy.
Yeah. 3 was crazy.
But they said the other story, the other show that the spinoff that they're doing is supposed to be pretty bad too.
Oh wow.
It is bad that we're like excited that it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, so I'm like,
I gotta see it.
Yeah,
because I think that like it's funny because they're literally teasing at what we see in real life with these like super extremist political people that like that's what they're showing. Like, and people those same people get mad at the show.
It's like they getting picked on. Come on now.
Yeah. They're just shining a light,
I don't, as far as tidbits, I mean, I don't really have one. I don't really have a tidbit I think worthy of having here on the show. So I'll reserve mine for next week. So you already said like The Boys, so I'll definitely I think I'm like almost done with Wednesday. I've been nursing.
Oh my god, how are you not done yet?
Because I've been taking my time, on it, but I need to finish it.
So what episode are you on?
I'm on 5.
Has she gone to the prom yet?
Yeah, I just finished the prom.
That's like the best one.
That was so good.
Yeah, when she's like,
yeah, she was killing that joint. I'm like, girl, killing this. And I love the whole play on Carrie in the episode. Oh, so good. Yeah. So good. That's definitely one of my favorite episodes of the whole show. All right, it's no more tidbits. That's it. That's all we got.
Nah, that's it.
Oh dang. Okay, no books.
No, we got.
Sharice usually come with the books, but
yeah. So for Disney Plus, we got what is it called? The Bad Batch is coming. I think we have a couple more shows coming for Disney Plus. If you didn't see the new Ant-Man trailer, make sure you go watch that because Kang is coming. I wholeheartedly believe that this will be Scott's end. Ooh. He will no longer be Ant-Man.
Prediction.
This shit looks like this where my man Scott, his tenure is up. Yeah, they're already hyping it up. I mean, like if you like the last article I saw today, Kevin Feige is basically like this is going to be their or this phase's Civil War type movie where it just twists where the direction where we're going.
That's
somebody gotta go there. That means somebody gotta go.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody gotta go.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's the coolest thing about superhero movies. It's like they can twist because timelines are so fickle in comics. So they can twist and turn it. Yeah, they can do whatever they want. It's so good.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, and that's coming pretty quickly. Ant-Man's.
When's the release date?
February, I want to say, or March. It's either end of February or early March.
My tickets, early. You know what I'm saying? I don't like missing it. I hate because I'm trying to avoid spoilers.
Actually, it's February 17th, which I was weird. I was kind of surprised that they aren't doing tickets yet, but they aren't selling tickets yet. So I'm assuming maybe next week they're gonna go on sale because it'll be a month before. Also, you can pre-install Monster Hunter Rise. It comes out in 5 days. In case you guys didn't know, Atomic Heart is also coming out February 24th, and you can pre-install that as well.
Okay, all right. Okay.
And Wulong, you can pre-install.
Oh yeah, see, I'm playing Wulong day one. That's
March
definitely
3rd.
That's so
Game Pass. Pre-install. Yep.
Yeah, all these are Game Pass. All three of those are Game Pass.
If you go to your Xbox right now, they actually added a new tab there that lets you know the new coming to Game Pass stuff that you can pre-install.
Bet. Okay. Thanks for that.
So, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Okay.
So, questions? I guess.
I got some questions.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't want to cut you off though before I do this.
Yeah, I didn't know whether you had a tidbit though or something.
No, I only had that. That's all I had. That's all I had.
All right, bet. Let's get to the questions then. Let's get it.
All right. Rangy4 says, question. The same people, I guess, that says games are for kids and game influence people to do crimes, but want to get them in the gaming space. Are they being a hypocrite?
Oh wow, I haven't really thought about it on that level.
It's like I've really seen anybody doing that.
Right.
People. So you got somebody out here saying games shouldn't be played by adults, and it's just adding fuel to what's going on in the world with crimes and shit, but want to get in the gaming space. Yeah,
it's like it's good for one thing, but not the other. Like, oh, okay, because
you can't fit your narrative. Whoever said that, I don't know who said it, but you can't fit that narrative. If you're saying like, look, adults shouldn't be playing video games because you think they're for kids, and you think that it's influencing people in a negative light, then you should have no business in the gaming space. Because the main thing about being in a gaming space is to have a collective mind. Well, our grown adults with collective minds of a hobby that we enjoy in a positive light.
I mean, adults are making the decisions, so I mean,
right. That's all well and good, but it's all about money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got people who are in the weed business that don't agree with weed, but they're making their money. So it's like, we got hypocrites everywhere, y'all.
Yeah. And gaming has been being an industry, and it's so broad now with the way technology has grown in the past few years. So broad. And I think that's, when people say stuff like that, to me, it's just ignorance of them not understanding the industry and knowing that, it's massive $1 billion plus type thing. Because I still get it. I still get, like, I hear from family members and stuff like that. You still play those games, or little things like that, and it's like, are you still watching? You know, the reality TV shows.
Yeah,
right.
You still watching Love and Hip Hop? Are you still watching Love and Hip Hop?
Yeah, I don't like Love and Hip Hop. I don't think it's good for society. But let me go audition. You know, let me go audition though.
Crazy. So you're always gonna have those people who make their own perceptions about what it is they think the industry is about. And so I just think that's unfortunate. And to me, it'll always be like a discussion to be had, or some level of education from someone who actually understands the industry and plays, to people who just not familiar and don't know. Because like I said before, adults are making the decisions, whether it comes to like acquisition deals and, you know, indie developers spending years making their games and stuff like that. It's like, it's very rarely that you see children doing stuff like this. It's to me, it's an adult industry. No, not like in, you know, that type of adult, but adult, it's like grown folks.
Yeah.
Industry.
People that can spend money quickly on the product that they're trying to do.
That's right.
Yes, there are games towards kids, you know, all types of games. But behind that game, behind that company, is adults making the games, adults purchasing the games, adults paying the hardware for the game. And people need to understand that. So, all right, our next question goes to Stitch. Hey, Stitch. Baby Stitch is turned 1 on Friday. Yay. So
happy birthday, Baby Stitch.
Happy birthday to Baby Stitch. Baby Stitch number 2. There it is.
Baby Lady Stitch.
There it is. Baby Lady Stitch. Okay. Question. Should the price of digital games should be lower, especially if the game is in a sub-service?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying that. Like, I don't understand why it costs more to produce physical copies, but we always see physical copies going on sale before digital copies.
Like,
and I'm assuming that they figured out that they're going to do that to recoup some of the costs of making physical copies by making digital copies keep the price longer. But as a consumer, it does not make sense to me, and I wish they would switch that.
Yeah, because like distribution model is just different, so it shouldn't cost more realistically.
Right. Because I feel like for me, I shouldn't have to pay more for you to be able to produce physical copies when I don't purchase physical copies.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because, like, if you know, you can go to. Shoot, I mean, you're right. I mean, unless it's a used game, I think that's when it's different. And then also for me, it's the consistency, because I've seen where it's like, as far as digital distribution, I've seen it where it's cheaper on GOG versus being more expensive on the Xbox store, then being cheaper on Steam. It's like, I need some consistency. It's the same game. Y'all need to talk and get that price to be the same across the board, so there's no because now, okay, I'm gonna get it on PC because I'm saving $10 over here. You know what I mean? Like, easy. I want to play it on Xbox, but I'm gonna get it on PC because of that deal. You know, so I mean, yeah. Hopefully over time, and what's sad is that I feel like we've had this discussion before, like in years past, about the whole pricing structure across the industry. But I agree that it should be some, you know, that it needs to be fixed in that regard. Like what prices go out at the beginning, and how you know, is it every 6 months do the price lower? Because even if you look at Nintendo, they rarely lower their prices. Like they have the same price everywhere, whether it's physical copy and in the digital store. They don't do that. So if Nintendo can be consistent, so can the rest of them. So,
all right. On to the next question. Other Zinc. What do you think of Jim Ryan's PS5 presentation at CES? I don't know if this is a troll question because I didn't watch CES.
Yeah, I saw.
I didn't see that he had done. Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, he had a presentation. And what they showed.
I thought it was a troll question. I had to.
It wasn't a troll question. This is actually a legit question.
Okay.
It's a legit question. So, I did see bits and pieces of it. I mean, I didn't see the entire thing, but I did see what they showed. They showed the Sony car. Which I think they partnered with.
Car.
They partnered with, I think, Honda or something like that. I can't remember who they partnered with, but I thought it was interesting that you can play a PlayStation in it. You know, I thought that was cool. But that's about it. Like, it didn't stand out enough for me to be like, oh, because they didn't really go too deep into like, you know, game releases and new titles this year, and they didn't go too deep into that. They talked about their progression and a little bit about VR and, you know, of course the car. But that was kind of like, it was very it felt very surface level to me. Like they probably saving, you know, other announcements for like the directs and stuff like that. What they call it, the state of plays or whatever. So, yeah. I mean, it was cool, but I did expect to see more, but that's just what we got. I guess the question I have for y'all though is, was there anything at CES that stood out to y'all that y'all was like, oh, yo, this looks cool?
I ain't watched it. I'm sorry.
I didn't see much. I didn't see much that like stood out. Like that was like, oh my God, which is a little disappointing, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like CES is usually like a big deal.
Yeah, same. Because I don't think that stood out. I think that I got from out of CES, because you're right. It wasn't like, I caught it late. First of all, you know, this year normally I catch it on time and I'm able to kind of plan a little bit. Well, this year I caught it late, and one of the standouts for me was the new TVs. You know, because they got a new backlight system for the TVs. So, you know, but we always hear those same kind of advertisements when it comes to that, like brighter, better blacks, and, you know, no crush and all this stuff. We always hear these things year after year, but the actual tech in these TVs is changing across the industry. So it's like in the next 2 to 3 years, all these TVs, the TVs we got now ain't gonna be able to compare to the ones that's coming, because it's just the actual way the tech is being put in is different. And so that part's exciting. But outside of the, you know, the cool foldable computer laptop or whatever, I'm not even in the market for one, so that didn't really gravitate toward me. A lot of cool things being done with like AI and robotics, but that's about it. It wasn't outside of that. It wasn't really anything that's like, oh, yo, I gotta get this next thing. When is it released? When does it come out? You know, it wasn't anything like that, because I recently got my TV, so I'm not like in the market for one anymore. And so, yeah. Any other questions?
I got more. Cedric H, shout out to the North. We have a question. He had a question for us. Are you ladies playing Wulong in single player, co-op, or a combination of both?
Single player.
Both. I just gotta find a partner. I'm down. I'm
down. You know, Delilah be. You know.
Yeah. It's okay.
I played the demo.
You're not gonna play with us.
And the demo. See, you already know your answer though. See, I'm glad y'all learned. Y'all learned.
You gonna play, just not with us.
Right.
But I loved it. I played through the single player demo. And it was great. I thought it was fun. I love the combat system and the fluidity of all the animations. It was dope. I can't wait to jump into that, to Wulong. Or Wolong. I don't know how they pronounce it, but
Wulong.
Is it W-U or is it W-O? That's why I said
W-O.
W-O. I don't know. Somebody in the chat, tell us how to pronounce it properly. I don't know.
Oh. All right. Sir X-Man says, what do you ladies do? What would you ladies do if you had all the time to catch up on your backlog for a month? Ooh. I mean, what would I do? I'm gonna tell you right now, my backlog it's gonna take more than a month. It's definitely gonna take more than a month.
But
okay.
If I had to pick 2 titles, I would say 2 titles that I should have finished, that I was really into that I hadn't finished yet, would be Scarlet Nexus and Control. I would want to finish those 2.
I mean, man, Skyrim. I've been playing that for damn near a decade. I still ain't finished. But it's still there though.
Yeah.
DLC and all, but just haven't finished.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about you?
That's a me. Yeah.
Anything else? I don't know. Go ahead. Either one of y'all.
I still haven't finished Cyberpunk.
Okay.
So I guess
you gotta play that before the DLC come out.
I know the Idris Elba DLC. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be nice. That should be nice.
Okay. I have a question from Rangy 4. Will Sony issue a trade for PS5 because it needs to be horizontal, quote unquote, missionary position over the heat in vertical? It should be able to swap out their console. What you mean? I mean,
did y'all hear about? We talked about it a little bit last week. A little bit. but about the liquid metal. I mean, because I'm trying to figure out why is the case. The liquid metal in the PS5, because it, like when it's sitting vertical, it kind of goes down. I'm doing my hands like this.
Yeah.
It goes down, like, you know, it's like that, you know, you're standing vertical. The liquid metal kind of, so the compact, like the heat sink and the, I guess the components, motherboard, blah, 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 like it's not getting adequate enough, like heat spread because of the, I don't know the terminology, but look, let's just say it's not it's having heat issues when it's standing vertically, basically, because of that liquid metal pooling. So you might want to just go like that. Just go ahead and just lay it.
I don't have no space for that shit.
Oh damn! They said make some space.
You got to make some space because apparently
you got to make some space, or you look at her face. I don't want to make space
because apparently there's
everybody don't have that space.
Now, granted, I thought that wasn't. I mean, things I've been reading, is making this like no big deal. Like people are like, okay, it's fine, no big deal, whatever. You should still be okay. It's only happening, you know, not for everybody, kind of thing. But I got mine horizontally because I'm like, first of all, I don't got the space to have mine vertically on my stand, so it's just gonna have to do
figure that shit out. Shit.
Oh damn!
They're gonna have to. You do realize that if it is what people are saying with regards to the liquid metal, they're gonna have to actually open up your console and put some other type of
shit in there,
right? To quote unquote figure it out.
When they had their big ass showcase, they're like, you can do it this way or this way, so you better figure it the fuck out.
They might have to have another model that comes out that you might have to swap out. Like, look, you know, a slim
for free.
You know,
you better swap out for free.
They might have a program. I don't know.
This they fuck up. How you charging me for your?
I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna say
I am. I'll be hot.
Yeah, that's rough. Because I'm asking the chat: is that true, or is this just all kind of Twitter fanboy? What is the truth? I need to know the truth. And if so, send me an article too. I feel like I want to see something official. Don't come with like, oh, he said, oh, I heard. I need official information here,
right, on
whether this thing is really causing an issue. Because I heard about the liquid metal from Twitter, and like the vertical. Don't put your console vertically, and that could just be something in the rumor mill that's kind of circling. I need official information because you're talking about real money spent in hardware here. So yeah, but if it is a massive issue, they gonna have a huge problem. Because first of all, the things, I mean, now you're able to find PS5s, but it's still, for some areas, it's still hard to get. So imagine trying to track all that down and be like, oh yeah, we gotta replace this or replace that, or send your console in and we'll send you. Because you remember when 360 had the red ring of death, and if you had it, you had to send in your console, they send you one back. Yeah. Sony would have to do that for this issue. If it's what people are saying it is. Yeah.
And that's a hassle. Yeah. And I know their customer service ain't as good as ours. When I mean ours, I mean Microsoft. So at this point. So it's gonna be just go like that. Just put it space.
But for now, just to be safe, put it horizontally and you good. So Boogie, you might want to clean that desk off.
Better put that shit on the floor or get you a little mini table. That's going
I'm looking for the ones that go underneath the desk or some shit.
You're gonna have to. That's what we have to do.
You don't have to, because you want to extend the life of the PS5. Shit.
Fuck that shit. They're about to come out with a slim watch.
Yes. I might copy it.
Might have to. That thing is bulky. It's big. It's like, I'm 5 feet, and that thing, I mean, it covers. When I hold it up, it's like covering half of my face. From my waist to my face.
Remember when the guy was holding it? I'm like, this is his whole chest. His whole torso.
Yeah.
All right.
And the whole argument at the time was like, oh, well, if PCs are still smaller than a PC. It's like, if I want, you know what? That's a whole other. Let's move on. A whole other conversation.
Okay. It is. Let's move on. Abacab has a question. How surprising is that Angela Bassett is the only actor to win a major award part of the Marvel movie?
The situation itself is surprising, but I'm happy that Angela won.
What's more surprising is that she's only won 2 Golden Globes, and almost 30 years ago was her first Golden Globe for playing in What's Love Got to Do with It.
She deserved
both of them.
She deserved it.
Because the Golden Globes this year, because I watched, seem very much like we are making up for lost time.
That's how it felt?
Yes. Because I felt like while the people who were deserving, they should have gotten awards before now. This should not be their first awards.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
or
yeah.
Second,
for the people who actually
awards.
Won. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I have one more question. Sir X-Man, it looks like it was a statement, but you put a question, so I guess you want us to acknowledge that. He says he's hearing problems about the HDMI port, then the liquid battle on the PS5. So there's another thing.
Oh, so it's HDMI port issue and a liquid metal battle. Okay.
Oh well. Okay.
Dang. Well, look, Sir X-Man, you get a chance if you could find an article or something, like send it to me or something on DM me on Twitter and send it to me. I want to see it. I want to see it. I don't want to speculate about nothing. I want to see it. Yeah, we can't. We'll dibble dabble in some rumors, and we always tell you take it with a pinch of salt or something, but we need receipts. We just can't be shooting. We can't be official statements
talking out of our ass. You know what I mean? I guess I don't have any more questions, Delilah, ma'am.
Cool. So then y'all know what time it is. We can roll into outros, try to wrap this show up. I'm gonna go ahead and go bottom up this time. I'll start with you, LBOOGIE. Tell the people where they can find you and whatnot.
Because she's like, I started it, now I gotta finish? Yeah.
Yeah, because I like how she's like, I'm gonna go bottom up this time. Like,
that's right. I forgot you a second. My bad. You know what? You're right. You be like, hold up, I went first. You're right. You're so right.
Like, so me again.
I forgot.
Yeah, me two times. Me 2 times first.
I'm gonna be different and go with you the whole time.
Look, I don't even pay attention to that. As you can see, I'm in my flow. Like, I'm like, look, go ahead then, lady.
Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for my family, my panel mates. I love y'all. If I feel like it, I might do something this weekend. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just gonna put it like that. Check my side piece Twitter. You know that, Lady Infamous 415. Check out YouTube. All my stuff is there, and thank you so much for coming through.
Awesome. Now, go with the outro.
Well, thank you guys once again for coming. Remember what I said at the top of the show. We're really, really close to hitting our hours to be able to be partnered with YouTube. So please make sure if you have time, listen to some of our older shows. Put them on your screen while you're working, and so we can get these hours.
Autoplay, playlist, play all.
Yeah. Play all. And hit.
Yep. And do that, y'all. We need it. We love y'all. Yeah. We appreciate y'all. We'll try to make sure we get another Shooting the Shit Wednesday next week. I don't think we got one this last week.
No, but we'll definitely have one next week.
Yeah, no problem. You don't need to know. But we'll get it next week.
And whisper it out.
like they can't hear me, so that's
right. Like, we're not being recorded right now.
Don't read my lips.
Yeah, it's all right. But we'll try to get one in next week. And like we said, those will go to Patreon first, then to YouTube. We appreciate all our Patreon subscribers. Make sure you hit up our merch store. I need to make sure I buy a new sweater before we go to E3. E3's coming up, y'all. And us ladies will be there to give y'all the actual factual. So make sure you're listening to us that week. And yeah, thank you. Love y'all. Have a great week.
Yep. So yeah, you all know you can follow me on Twitter, DELILAH_HD. Catch you right here on GWG. I appreciate all y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Shout out to CHAREECE. We missed you today. We'll catch up with you later. And we'll catch y'all on the next ones. Peace.
No, I ain't watched the Megan movie, but I heard it was okay.
Bye. The Megan movie. Oh, Megan
the
with the robot lady.
Little doll lady.
Yeah.
Killer movie.
I heard it was more wasn't scary, it was more action. That's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I thought it was a horror movie, so I didn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Me neither. It ain't.
Right, was not on my radar.
Yeah, but my brother said that it's action. It's more action than horror. So
an action movie.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
All right,
He says more like iRobot. Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. That's like we gonna go into that. But anyway, we catch y'all on the next one. We love y'all.
Bye. Have a great
Peace.
day. Bye.
And yeah.